The second standard I want to touch on is the Digital Citizen Standard. I'll read the standard. Students recognize the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and they act and model in ways that are safe, legal, and ethical. This is something that I know that students, even on our team in Racine, struggle with. Toxicity is a term that is used when we talk about gaming culture sometimes, when there could be things that are said that are racist or demeaning to a competitor. Comments can be posted into certain chats that need to be moderated. It is esports. Again, the game being a medium to something more helps to create, if done well, helps to create a culture of positive digital citizenship. It is incredibly important that when you are considering building a team, that digital citizenship and perhaps a code of conduct is included in your charter for your team. So some of the indicators that can be reflected in through esports is that, for example, students cultivate and manage their digital identity and reputation and are aware of the permanence of their actions in the digital world. There have recently been esports careers ruined. And again, these are a lot of students, children. I mean, we're talking about kids here. We're talking about 14 to 21-year-old people who, for whatever reason in their past or not in their past, thinking that they were in a safe space where they could say anything, do anything, and quickly found out as they gained popularity that that wasn't always the case. The recent Overwatch League had a number of issues with toxicity on the team, with inappropriate comments made by a team player, I believe on the Dallas team for Overwatch. So it's important that we bring in the digital citizenship component of the ISTE standards into our esports teams. So we need not just our students, but our coaches to act and model in these environments that are safe, legal, and ethical. What's also interesting is, and this isn't just about social interactions, but we also need to talk about intellectual property when we're talking about these things. Because, for example, if we get students into streaming, especially if we're talking about Twitch and we get students into streaming, they have to understand copyright. They have to understand that it's not okay to use intellectual property inappropriately and share that in inappropriate ways that steals people's, especially if you're starting to monetize a Twitch account, you definitely cannot, there is no fair use of certain things if you're monetizing your account. So it is important that we respect the rights of everybody, of their intellectual property, and we try to break down and defeat these toxic cultures that are in gaming. I am always aware and concerned about toxicity in esports, and it's something that I look to make sure that if it does creep up, that it is handled appropriately. Now, if you're in schools and you're dealing with a toxic culture on your esports team, my recommendation is to work within your student code of conduct. And if you don't feel your student code of conduct is strong enough to deal with issues of online gaming, especially when you're talking about your online teams, that you address that with your student services or your principals at your schools, because that is something that can tank all the wonderful things being done right now through esports, can bring all those things down and create an environment that can create a negative backlash, I think is what I'm trying to say. We don't want to have that negative backlash. There's too many positives here. There's too many great things happening with esports. So digital citizen standard in